Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Thursday, June 5th, and it's time to wrap it up. And we got a crazy market, and it started off with the Trump C thing in the morning and the little pop there, and now we have the Musk Trump fallout going on, and I can't really tell if it's a fallout or if it's a big boondoggle show to get Democrats off Elon's back. It's hard to say, but I guess they're going at it. So what can you say? The market is just what the fuck going crazy. So there you have it. Stuff like that, difficult to trade. I was sitting here watching this thing here, it's heading lower, a little slow grind to the upside, a lot of weakness. I was almost thinking, see, are they going to run it up here to the high? But no, at the 2 o'clock hours, they ran it lower again. Tested the lows, ran it lower, retracement, and I was pretty confident that we were going to see after that little rundown here, actually a nice little rally into that upper level. But no, no, no. They started this tweeting back and forth, and there you go. The whole thing went into the toilet pretty quick. So, and here you had this last little flush on the downside. We'll see where they end up closing, but it's just the market's massively overreacting to everything. It's just what that is. I don't think that. I can't even tell if it's a fallout or not. If it's a fallout for sure, okay, so they're going to be no EV mandates and they're not going to talk to each other. So what? It's nothing much else happens. So at this point, I would have to start from the short side the way this looks. Depending kind of where they close, we're gonna have to look for a rotation back here to that 59.15. I remember this morning exactly what I said. Looking for short setups against the 59.95 and 6,005s for rotations back down. And if they take out this 65 level, we can technically take it all the way down here to the 59.15s. Now, you need some help from stuff like this, what's going on for that to actually happen. But as you can tell, things can happen. So today it turned out that resistance held and we rotated back down and we got some help from this hullabaloo kind of dynamic going on in the political scene. And we are probably heading down to that 59.15 level attractor point at this point. We'll see if they get there today or not, but definitely backing off pretty hard. So as the market figures it out, and this is just algos running it. I don't think it's any institutional stuff going on there. It may be some institutional, the scaredy cat institutions, which think this is going to be a big deal, and just if hit the sell button, probably causes some of this big moves to the downside, but. The way this looks right now, we just have to start from the short side. And we have now a pretty good edge lining up here at the 59.60s. So probably going to lean on that edge for a potential to take off the short bias. So if they trade up above that, 59.60s, I'm going to be back range bound. Then they're pretty much back in this upper range again. But if they close below that edge now, the 59.60s, and close it down here. I'm going to stay on the short side and look for them to run it down here to this attractor area, 59. It's really 59 to 59, 15, 20, these three support areas. So that's your attractor point. But yeah, who knows? It's hard to forecast stuff like that. It's if you had news which you knew was going to drive the market, you can have an educated opinion. But if you're trying to trade the algos, whipping back and forth, that's just difficult. Now you did have a little bit of a hint as they started trading higher here. There's a little bar right there, a little reaction, and then it just didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere. One, two, three attempts to take it higher, all of them fails. It starts trading lower. At one point here, you could try a short trade. Your stop should be outside that rotation if that's the case, and then we'll see how far they can take it. Hang on, guys. So. I would start from the short side. I would watch that 59.60s. If it starts trading up above that one, it's going to be the initial balance low here. And I would look at it. It starts trading above this area into the initial balance. I would be back range bound for the overnight. But that's kind of how we get started. Now, news for tomorrow is, of course, employment situation coming up at 8:30 in the morning. After that, we have consumer credit at 3, nothing much. After that, Baker Hughes rig count, but that doesn't do much. So employment situation at 8:30 tomorrow, that's the big item. And with this kind of dynamic going on, it could be interesting to see where they're going to go with that. So we'll see. But at this point, starting from the short side, let's see how far they can take it on the downside. If they close above that 59.60, I'm back range bound on it. I just took that trade this morning. After it started getting crazy like this, I was super tempted to it, but it's just, I just couldn't make up my mind. I've been waiting for him on each of these pullbacks here for that retracement because right across, which you've seen it so many times. They shake out all the weak longs. They're down here still at support. They haven't really taken out the key support areas just yet. And then so I'm waiting for them to just squeeze this whole thing back up to the initial balance high. But so far, not much. We'll see where they end up closing. Now, it looks like we got a pretty good squeeze going. But as I said, watch that 60 level. They had to get up above that and then some. We'll see what it looks like when we cycle back here in a few minutes. Looking at the Nasdaq and the bonds, bond market is just shrugging it off. They don't care. So you can see a bond market not reacting in a big way, just going sideways. And that just tells you how important this little spat is. So sideways action on the bond. They backed off the highs, so they're back here to around 1312s. Just start off range bound at this point on the bonds. If to buy weakness, I would put an edge here at the 1310. Probably keep the 1305s and to the 113s, and then looking to sell strength 1320, 1324s for rotations back down. And then Nasdaq also having a crazy day. Look at that thing. That one really, that's some money to be made on the Nasdaq. That's tempted, super tempted. I was first tempted on the way up here to hop on a long trade. I just figured like, I just can't read it. It's you want to get short against this for rotation back down, but this squeeze is pretty good, especially when that little last pop happened. And then they just didn't go anywhere. It stopped. And then sideways, and started grinding lower. And I think around about here you have enough to try to get short if you want to be early, reasonably early. You're kind of late in the sense that you lost a lot of trade location, but this slop in the middle, it can stay here, or sometimes we've seen them just kind of keep running it right straight back up again. So that's what I was looking for, the run up here to the mean. And when it wasn't happening, I just kind of backed off a little bit. But I just had that one trade in the morning for 59, so I just left it there. Getting aggressive in the afternoon when this whipsawing is going on, it's just difficult. And then look at this thing here. If you were short on that thing on the way down, you were in a pretty good spot. 690 down to the 5, so that kind of 50 points to the downside. That's pretty good. But as I said, I just opted not to trade it. I figured like I'm sitting here thinking long side of the market for a rotation up here, but and you just get the gut feeling. If you're wrong on it, it's if you can't if you have doubt about the directional thing, then just stay out of it. That's the easier way to do it. And as you can tell, look at this, the retracement. Here we are, right down here, flash to the downside, hard retracement right now, right back up here into that 680. So on the Nasdaq, the level we need to pay attention to is it's going to be the 670s here, probably. That's going to be the level. You see it? Yeah, so they're right up here to the 670s. So they start trending above that one, we'll start range bound. And if they can't, if they start trading close below that 680 edge, or maybe a little bit lower, maybe at the 660 for rotations back down again. If they stall here and start trading lower, stay on the short side. But it's pretty crazy day on the Nasdaq. They've been down all the way down here to 520 from the high at the 900. So it's like a 450 point range on the Nasdaq. It's just crazy. Makes it difficult. So on days like this, you can get chopped up pretty easily, or you run away with a big chunk of money if you get on the right side of it. But it's when something like that going on with the little Musk's Trump spat, then it's best to just stay on the sidelines unless you're willing to whipsaw it. And then finally, oil and gold. Gold and gold actually retraced the overnight back here to the 3380s, and they're kind of staying right there right now. Let me see if I can find gold here. No, gold capital flow. I did get my new mouse here, so that's all sorted out. I'd say Amazon same day delivery. That's pretty awesome. We'll take that. So they're back down here, backing off that upper edge. Not quite down to that 33.50 yet, but they're kind of stalling here. Looks like there's some volume building here in the middle. We'll see where they're going to go, but I would start off range bound. I would look to buy all the way down to that edge at the 33.50s, look to sell up to the 34.05s. So basically trading in this range right now. Then we'll see. I would, if anything, I would favor the long side, given that they're still in this move out of the middle to the upside, even if we get the pretty crazy action on gold directionally here. And then finally, oil not going anywhere. It's just gonna zoom over that one. So range bound oil as well. I sent out an email about the expirations coming up next week. Yeah, hopefully you got that. And so you're not some stuff we need to do there. But so range bound oil, trade gold range bound as well. Back to the ES, and look at that. They're right up here again in that initial balance right now. Key area. So we'll see where they're going to end up here now. If this starts trading up here, we're back range bound. If they start trading lower from here, that's a reverse retest. We may see we're going to be back on the short side. So anyone's guess. We'll see. Watch that last 10 minutes. That's going to tell you a little bit of what's going on with this, you know. If the guys bargain hunting are picking up stocks, it could very well be happening. I saw Tesla, by the way, it was down like $50, 15% at one point here. I don't know where it's at right now, but it was getting creamed. So a bad reaction for Tesla. Let me see where we're at here. Tesla is at I can't tell you what is Tesla here. Tesla, down $48, so $49. So yeah, $50 down on Tesla right now. That's ugly. So we'll leave it there. Anyway, employment situation tomorrow morning at 8:30. We'll take it from there. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow. So trade so far, one trade on the ES down 50 and one trade on the Nasdaq up 59. So net $9. So that's where we are. Ready, guys. See you in the morning. Later.